What is going on YouTube? Chrono here and welcome back to another PSO2 video. So today we're actually going to be going over an article that was posted in our lovely Discord server by the lovely community. But before we jump into that, it's been a while since I mentioned this, but if you're new to the channel, I'm Chrono. I cover primarily PSO2 content. Would much appreciate a subscribe as we work our way towards, I don't know, I usually say the 10K mark. That's kind of like my big goal for the end of the year. It's pretty close to the end of the year, so maybe we'll catch a win and catch that goal as well. Anyway, let's go ahead and let's get that this won't do the intro anymore because I speak and I stumble over my words, but let's get started. So this was linked to us in our Discord. I'm actually gonna pull up the Discord here, so a chance to shout out the Discord. But Groovy, again, much appreciated, pop this into Discord with an interesting little tidbit in here. I'm gonna go ahead and say I have been wrong about certain things before. And while I may disagree with certain changes, doesn't mean I don't understand them, right? You can understand something and not like it. It's totally fine. But this is something, while I understand, it's not that I don't like it. It's that I feel like it kind of works against something. So I feel like this is something they've added as kind of a way to say, you know what? Okay, fine. We give in. We'll say this is what we're going to do moving forward. So Guru posts this and then puts underneath it something switch strike after all. For those of you guys who don't know what switch strike is a skill from base PSO2 that would allow you to switch the scaling type of a weapon to a different stat. This is something that was used primarily by bouncers if you were to play jet boots and soaring blades, to allow you to have your jet boots scale off of strike damage as opposed to scale off of tech damage. This is very, very important for playing both weapons, and I'm sure tons of our PSO2 players currently that played base game really wanted to scale like this. We've had conversations multiple times about how, you know, hybrid stuff just isn't really done well for PSO2 NGS at the moment, and it feels a bit unfair. This is a pretty big win for hybrid players if this works the way that it is presented at the very least. So this more or less feels like it leaks all of the new skills. So in case you don't want to know about them, spoiler warning, we're going to be going over these and seeing what we have here. So SEGA will implement a large-scale update, PlayStation 4, Nintendo Switch, PC, blah, 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 blah. Of course, is talking about, you know, the JP side. We do not have the game on the Switch. This is like, you know, cloud service, no big deal. I'm just going to kind of skim through this because it's quite a bit to go over, and I don't have a ton of time. I'm doing this in the middle of my workday, actually. But in this update, in addition to new stories, player level cap is going to 70, new class skills are being added, new rarity weapons, 8 stars. Looks like 2 different series are being added. Also, the new region of volcanic area Stia is being added. And let's say this time a pre-experience event for this update was held for the media, and able to experience the new Stia region focus on experience. Okay, so yeah, it looks like there was a media event where they checked this out. So they're showing off some of the new stuff. We've got the ARC Base Camp Steer Camp. Interesting. Naming is going to be a bit weird because this is all Google Translate. So looks like we have some screenshots depending upon the section where it places volcanic ash falls. That's kind of cool. You can see they're using what looks like Kaiser weapons. Nothing too crazy there. As part of the weather, volcanic eruptions rain down. Okay, yeah, we've seen the volcanic bomb things they rain down, so that's pretty cool. Shows a bit of the bombs on the ground. You can actually grab these bombs and throw them at enemies, kind of similar to how the crystals interact with the players. Let's see here. So group ores are made of various ores, can only be destroyed with volcanic bombs. When you destroy it, you get various ores at once. So if you find a swarm ore, is what they're calling it, I guess, throw a volcanic bomb to destroy it. If you're lucky, you get an item called Infernium. This can be exchanged for the 8-star weapon. For the Kuroth, I feel like this is, I mean, I'm not sure I'm going to pronounce this right ever, so don't worry about it. But it looks like these are the new equivalent to our yellow boxes or something along those lines. So swarm ore can only be destroyed by being used with the volcanic bombs. Let's see, the inner steer zoner destruction may occur, destroys the device. I'm not really too worried about this stuff. This is kind of things I more like to see when it actually comes out. I'm going to leave a link to the video description to this, see if you guys want to read through it on your own, but I'm going to kind of skim through a lot of this stuff, see if there's anything that really pops out at me. I haven't read any of this. Yes, this is all first impressions. New formidable enemies, recon gigantics. I believe this is what gigantes. It's a horde of gigantics. So like we got our first taste of enemy gigantics with pyramid, where some enemies could turn into gigantic variants. It looks like they're doing more of that now. Also, we have invisible boxes, it looks like. So our mag sonar is going to be very useful for finding those lovely invisible boxes. That's what I wanted. I'm so great at finding boxes as it is. That's a lie. I still have red boxes in Kavaris, actually. In addition to Recon Gigantics, Gigantics will appear in certain weather conditions. Instead, just like previous regions, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so that's pretty normal. Gigantics. So it looks like the Recon Gigantics aren't bound to the weather conditions, but the big Gigantics are. Basically a solo player, but I think I'll try to invite friends in advance or talk to other players when I challenge them. Yeah, probably. I'm looking at the palettes. I don't see anything out of the ordinary on the palette. Not sure. That looks like weak bullet. I'm not sure what that's supposed to be. It looks like the new launcher skill, maybe. In the mid is the outer district 1. You can enjoy battle with a boss enemy recon. Okay, I'm not sure what that's supposed to be. Boss with the mid boss. Okay, so it looks like it's like a regular. Oh yeah, so it's like a Gigantics version of like a standard boss. Okay, pretty cool. Chapter 4 being added. So new story. The new story tells the story of the protagonists heading into the Stia. Okay, so Stia, Steer. I see. Stia region at the request of Crawford, joining the Stia Advanced Corps led by Glenn and working with them to aim for the depths of Stia. New added class skills. Okay, here we go. Hunter. Massive Hunter extra shield. Grants a shield when Massive Hunter effect ends. The shield only deploys while PA is active, reducing incoming damage and preventing launching and blowing back. It disappears after being attacked a certain number of times while deployed. Sword attack alternation. After activating Hunter Art's Avenger, the first normal attack will change to a powerful normal attack. Okay, so it's a basically a damage buff as long as you're activating Avenger. Nice. Partisan quick assault only for partisan by pressing the weapon action button at a specific time after step attack, step counter, assault charge, or photon blast is activated. You can approach the enemy at high speed and then attack. It's even after photon blast. That's awesome. Also, I just wanted to mention, this is what I meant, by the way, a while back or during our previous video when I said we don't know all the skills. Here you go. There's more information. It's actually quite a bit. So wired lance revenge or wired avenge. I hate that. Wired avenge range collection. The power increase due to the distance of the PA activated by Hunter Art's Avenger is always maximized. Okay, so it means that you always get max damage on Avenger abilities. That's kind of lame because it's not really. I mean, it's damage, but at the same time, it's not interesting. So that sucks. Limit break after PP save. PP consumed. Oh, it tells us whether it's main class only. I just realized that. All of this is just sword. None of these are main class. That's crazy. Limit break after PP save. PP consumption is reduced for a certain period of time. When the limit break effect ends, does not activate if terminated by limit break insurance. So if your limit break insurance is what starts that process, then you don't get the limit break after PP save. Interesting. A twin dagger quick attack. Twin dagger only. Again, not main class specific, but we could figure that. That's let's see. By pressing the normal attack button at a specific timing after the 4th stage of the normal attack, accelerator drive or phantom or photon blast is activated, you can attack while moving at high speed. Wait, is that another quick cut? That sounds like another quick cut where you move towards your target. That's pretty interesting. Okay, I thought that was just like a 5th normal, but it looks like that's another quick cut. A saber wind extra, double saber only. Snail weasel, I'm assuming this is the whirlwind, up to level 3. Using deadly archer while wearing a 3rd stage, Kamachi consumes all the Kamachi. Also, when you use spiral drive, Kamachi will be in the 2nd stage. Wait a second. So are they trying to say that if you use Deadly Archer, it uses all 3 stacks, but if you use Spiral Drive, it only uses 1 stack? I think that's what that's trying to say. That's weird. Okay, I'm not sure how that works out, but that seems interesting. It does give some more use to Spiral Drive if that's the case. Knuckle Attack Alternation. If you use the 5th stage of the normal attack without inputting the direction, it will change to a quick slamming attack. There's a new 5th normal if you don't press any direction. That's kind of cool. All right, Ranger, weak bullet self-benefit. Increase the damage to parts of enemies hit by weak bullet that have not been weakened by the weak bullet. This effect only applies to your own attacks. Nice. Obscure form. Even if you attack an enemy, you will be less likely to be targeted. You have a threat drop on Ranger. That's definitely useful because it's very easy for you to rip threat off of someone else on highly aggressive targets. whenever rangers are just unloading damage from afar, because they actually do quite a bit of damage now. They've been buffed pretty substantially, so that's insanely good. Rifle Grenadier Advance, assault rifle only. A period of invincibility occurs when Rifle Grenadier is activated. Okay, so you just get a free, okay, cool. Launcher attack reinforcement, main class only, and launcher active skill. Increase the power and speed of normal attacks that are not charged for a certain period of time. So this also increases power, which is good. I don't think they mentioned that during the headline. Gunner, chain trigger increase, main class and machine gun only. Increase the maximum number of chain triggers to 150. However, after the 101st chain, the increase in power per chain will decrease. So their chain trigger is going up to 150 now. And the hail of bullets, by consuming the gauge accumulated by active skill attacks, you can shoot continuously at high speed. The effects of chain finish and chain boost are not applied to this. Okay, so this is just like an attack you can use. Okay, it's a build of skill essentially. Like you just dump it. It looks like that's pretty cool. Chain finish advance. Invincibility time occurs when chain finish is activated. Oh, that's awesome. And then chain finish PP save. After activating chain finish, PP consumption is reduced for a certain period of time. This is gonna make comboing at the end of your chains really, really, really comfy. That's awesome. Okay. Forest's Unite technique, PP well up. PP will recover naturally while using a composite. Okay, composite text will also regen PP, which is nice. Technique gauge amplify. Force. When attacking an enemy with a weak point attribute technique or technique explosion, the gauge accumulation amount of the multi-attribute technique increases. Nice. Okay, that's cool. So basically it builds up composite text faster. Moving while charging. Nice. Palace sign and marking. Hitting an enemy with multiple times with a normal attack or weapon action puts the enemy into a marking state. Marked enemies deal more damage with techniques while Talus is deployed. Oh, they take more damage from text. Wait, they take more damage from text when Talus is deployed, as in like playing casting Talus? For a single target if they're marked? That sounds what that's... maybe I'm misunderstanding that. Who knows? Tech door. Long range shift a D-band only for main class. Shift a D-band. In front this time. Reuse is try to normal shift the D-band. I guess this just makes it bigger. Maybe I'm not reading that right, or maybe the translation is just weird. Technique gauge amplified tech. When attacking an enemy with a weak point attribute technique or technique explosion, the gauge accumulation amount of the max attribute technique increases. Okay. Wand element pass. After hitting an enemy a certain number of times with tech explosions, additional attacks will occur by activating wand element revoke. Wand element revoke cannot be used when this skill, wand element revoke cannot be used when this skill cannot be activated. So this is interesting if it works the way that it looks like it works. Basically, you're going to be using this right before you pop any of your compounds, because then you're going to use a charge tech to then detonate the blots or the mechanics from the compounds. So that might be how that works. We'll have to see. And this is the same thing from before. All right. Braver. Special ability optimized Braver. Among special abilities, equipped weapon and armor, increase the striking weapon power and range weapon power added up. The higher the value is applied to both. Okay, so this is what they were talking about. Basically, it takes whatever value is higher and it goes with that one specifically. So you don't have to augment for multi-stat anymore. You can just augment for one versus the other, which means all of the combo augments are just pointless now. Like, it just means that you basically just augment for one stat. Yeah. It's just add the higher value. Yeah. It takes all of your power and ranged power up, and then the higher value is applied to both striking and shooting power. So you just augment for one and it applies it to both. Restores PP when using a rest assign. Activate after, let's see, F, added to PP save. Okay, so basically you get PP consumption reduction after activating Fearless Attitude. That's the first P I used. Okay, not bad. And then bullet bow, exclude counter. This is the normal attack after using a counter. Pinion blade, unleash a powerful slash forward by consuming a gauge accumulated by active skills. So this is a build-up skill. You just press the button. Nice. A decline gelin effect adds an effect that weakens enemies' attacks to physical decline and elemental decline. Giving an enemy physical or elemental or both decline weakens it further. Interesting. Okay. Stormseeker rapid boost. Activate surgery pits. Did they really just give jet boots rapid boost again? Are you serious? You've got to be kidding me. They gave jet boots rapid boost. PA's attack speed increases for a certain period of time. Okay. All right, that's nice. Special ability optimized bouncer. Yeah, so they gave us Pinion Blade, but then they just gave Jet Boots Rapid Boost. They gave them the better skill that they had beforehand. No, I'm not salty. It's fun. All right, anyway. This is basically the same thing. This is just like, yeah, it's physical and magic power. They give you the higher of the two, so cool. And that basically means that you can augment for either one, whichever one's cheaper. So long story short, everything should be roughly the same cost for bouncers and for bravers. Let's see if I can scroll up to where's braver at. Did I skip or did I move past it already? Am I dumb? I think I am dumb. Yeah. So because of this, that means that you can augment for range, and it would apply to both as long as you have this skill. So I would recommend you know, going for the cheaper augment setup. This is actually kind of so like we got to build up skill. You guys got a cooldown. An actual pretty cool cooldown. Unironically doesn't affect the issues with bouncer, by the way. Waker. Enemies hit by familiar units will be marked with a treble clef marking. Okay, we know about that. Let's see here. Hold on one sec. Okay, I just had to go back and double check what what rapid boost basically did back in base game, and yeah, it's essentially the same thing, so that's fun. But yeah, enemies hit by familiar units will be marked with treble clef marking, which you can then of course detonate. Increases the number of tacked gears in stock to 3, so you can have 3 stocks. Nice. And reduces incoming damage and prevents launches and knockbacks while holding the weapon action button. Okay, so if you're holding your block in front of you, you can't be knocked back, and it reduces incoming damage. Very nice. Okay, then summary in this preliminary experience, I was able to play some of the new content. The battle with the new formidable enemy was tougher than I'd imagined, but I was able to experience the joy of cooperating with other players and defeating them. In addition, such methods of volcanic bullets, lava nuclei. Okay, nothing too crazy here. Yeah, so that looks like it's about it. This is mostly just about the skills, man. This is crazy. So, like I thought, there are definitely more skills than what we were shown. Am I salty? A little bit. I still feel like this isn't addressing what I really want for Bouncer, but at the same time, I've told people beforehand, it's obvious the game has a idea of what they want to do with a class. If you're not enjoying what it is, then, you know, continuously harping on about and on about it isn't really going to do anything. So I do like what I've seen so far. I mean, at least we know Pinion Blade is an actual build-up skill, right? Like you can see exactly what it's going to do. You get a huge attack. Hopefully this is invuln, because it's really, really, really slow, like insanely slow. So if this isn't invuln, this doesn't have like range, like, so basically what my biggest concern is that you do the giant X slash. Hopefully the damage isn't like you hitting the target and the slash itself, meaning that like the slow freaking attack, something can just move out of the way of and only hit it with the X slash. If it is, kind of a pain, only really useful during downs, but we'll have to see. And there's also a good chance that this isn't everything. There might be some adjustments to other skills that we just don't know about just yet. So fingers crossed we see more. I'm actually fairly excited at what I've read so far. If you guys want to keep up with any sort of updates that are going on with the game, feel free to, of course, subscribe to the channel, join Discord. Thank you again, Discord family, for letting me know about this. This is super awesome. I'm liking some of the changes I'm seeing. This is basically the skill I was talking about, by the way, this optimized skill. It basically just completely dwarfs the need for certain augments, which I find to be very, very awkward. Now augmenting for all classes is literally just for if you don't want to worry about having gear for specific classes. It is no longer a situation where augmenting for multiple stats is going to be something that you would do for any individual class. But that does mean that, you know, people who do want to play dual weapons can now play dual weapons optimized properly. But it also does kind of push us in the into the category of, does Sega expect us to play dual weapons? But that is a conversation for another day. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Let me know if you have any questions you guys have. Toss in the comments below. Let me know what you're excited for, right? Any classes that I personally don't play, something I don't really, understand, by all means, let me know about it in the comments below. Anyway, guys, take care. Peace out.